and attitude, which is Dyttitude. He has his own YouTube channel and also Facebook page. Welcome to Mr. Raghavendra Patil. The stage is all yours.
Thank you
He's
so
going
much.
to speak on diet.
Thank you so
today.
much, Vaishali ji. It was a long introduction for a short person. And I finished
Unmute
it.
kara.
Yeah. So, am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for a long introduction, the short person. Well, today we will speak about diet and specifically about when you are doing yoga, how we should do actually, we should go on diet and what exactly is diet. So what I did, I just asked for the questions and I got plethora of questions, which what I will do, I will go through it and I will explain the principles of diet so that you yourself can be dietitian of yourself. Okay, unless and until you are a dietitian of yourself, you will not able to go on diet when you go to party or you have something to do at your home, right? So I'll straightforward go to the questions which are there. The first question was there that how long gap between any meal or two meal should be kept, or are long gaps between every meal okay? Now see, what happened between two meal is very important. Say when we take meal, our sugar level slowly increases. Naturally the insulin flush is there. After some time, when the gastric emptying occur after maybe 3 or 4 hours, and also sugar level stabilizes and excess of sugar gets converted into a glycogen. Now after this excess of sugar converted into glycogen, then our consumption continues, again glycogen will be used. After that, when the glycogen get depleted from the muscles or from the liver, and then we are hungry. During our craving, the glycogen reduces, and then the time comes when body has to take a decision, should we go for consumption of fat. Now if the metabolism is higher, the consumption of fat is very quick, that is known as fat switch. So Robert Atkins, there's a person who has given a Atkins diet. What he said, that if your fat switch is very fast, it is quick, then you can get the benefit of your craving or hunger, or when you have an empty stomach. So actually between two gaps of meal, if the gap is very high, there are positives, there are negatives. I will just enumerate both of them. So for example, if you don't take water in between, then definitely the water thirst will increase. See, the water is required for better and better metabolism. So water intake is very much important. Second, if you would like to reduce weight because of this particular craving or gaps between two meals, then definitely that you need a good metabolism. That is very much important. Third is that even if you are actually hungry or the gap is very high, at the same time your iron maintenance should be there. So if your iron reduces, naturally you will actually get precipitated iron deficient related symptoms. But this won't occur so easily, so fast. One or twice, if you keep a gap of it, definitely there is a chance that at particular time, if you have not taken meal where you are supposed to take, or you have habit of taking it, what will happen, that the acidity will increase. You may end up in headache, and this is because the fat switch is not there. If the fat switch is there, then headache won't be there, because body tries to grab the fat as a energy resource. So if it gets energy resource, you will consume the fat, you will find that your urine will have smell, a urea smell, and your fat will be lost. So naturally the fat is lost in urine actually. So if urine has a smell, if you are on fast, then naturally you can see that the fat is lost. See, the one side there may be acidity, but if fat switch is there, there won't be headache, there won't be acidity. This is what is the technology behind intermittent fasting, is that body gets actually urged to clean itself. That is another point. If body thinks that there is a definitely dearth of now intake, body try to actually consume all those materials which are there, try to clean itself, because body doesn't have anything to do. Rather, the digestion energy or the energy required for digestion is actually currently saved. That is another way to look at it. If you are keeping yourself at fast for at least 8 hours or up to 16 hours, naturally there is a cleaning of body. But definitely you should have intake of water, you should have good metabolism, then only this works well. So intermittent fasting, very important, or a long gap between two meals, that the body should have a good metabolism. Another thing is habit. Our body is such a way, it is stipulated, it can mold itself to any kind of diet. Believe me, if you want to take only once a day diet, you can do that. It's only habit, because then body will have habit when to release the insulin, when to release the insulin stimulating hormone, when to get the actually ghrelin, that is actually craving hormone. So body can have habit of that. So the question, are long gaps between every meal okay? It can be okay provided your good metabolism. How to get to good metabolism? Everyday proper yoga. What Vaishali madam is taking is excellent, so please don't miss it. Okay, and everyday yoga, whether you may miss your meal, but don't miss yoga. That is the key for keeping yourself healthy in fasting. After a long gap, you will have, if you have a lot of craving, and if you overeat, then fasting doesn't have any meaning. That is the key. And of course, I have not considered this particular assumption, which is already assumed, that it should not be done by any pregnant woman. Okay, please connect with doctor. For pregnant woman, no starvation is at all recommended anywhere. Okay, so important thing is, long gap is there, but long gap will be good if your metabolism is good, if it works as a cleaner rather than if it works as a just a craving increasing drive. That was the first question. There was a question, do we need to go a zero carb in order to lose weight? So here, as per the Biochemical Society of India, it is recommended 70% fat and then 70% carb and then 20% of protein and 10% of fat. So see, this is the natural diet providing to the body. But you will find that over the period of time, what happened, this carb actually it in our cell by biochemical pathway, which is known as embedded marrow pathway or anaerobic respiration pathway. It converted into from 6 carbon glucose to 3 carbon structure. Any carbohydrate converted to glucose. Glucose converted into 3 carbon carbohydrate, that is known as acetyl-CoA or pyruvate. And ultimately, if huge amount of this acetyl-CoA or pyruvate accumulated in the cell, it will be converted into fat. Similar is the fate of even protein. If you eat too much of protein, it will be converted to pyruvate, and then pyruvate will be converted into fat. So huge amount of carb if you eat, it will be converted to fat. This is a proven fact by biochemistry. Now if you go on zero carb, what will happen? If you go on zero carb, your body will actually crave for energy first. Now craving for energy, first it will consume amount of glycogen which is stored in the body, especially in liver and muscles. Then it doesn't get that, it will start consuming fat. That is truth if you don't take carb. So Robert Atkins, which is Atkins diet, it was a proteinous diet instead of carb. But if you take a lot of protein, then there is a danger. Then kidney at some point of time will think that this protein is excess, it should be actually removed out of the body, this protein is ample, and slowly the glomerular filtration of the kidney, which is actually filter, 2 million filters are there that allow that protein to grow, that is known as kidney failure. And slowly your blood protein also start going out. So too much of protein may actually fail the kidney. So when you are zeroing the carb, you have to take care that you have to eat fat. But again there is a question. If you eat too much of fat, not protein and carb, your energy source will be fat. Now, if long term, if you do that, you will lose weight very quickly, believe me. But you will be a lot of thirsty, and you will find that your vehicle is running on rocket instead of petrol. This is the difference which occurs in the body. You will lose little bit of energy, but at the same time you will find that you will lose weight like anything. If you eat only fat, you will lose weight. Can you imagine this particular sentence? If you eat only fat, you will lose weight, because fat cannot be consumed in your body, so it cannot be absorbed. As a result of it, if you say today, if you drink a glass of glass of ghee, you will have acidity, because body cannot accept that one. So here you will find that if you zeroize your carb, you will lose the weight. But there is a problem. What will happen? Once your fat body try to consume from the body, you will lose the weight. At the same time, body think that too much of consuming of fat of the body is also not good. So body will start consuming proteins also. You will be losing the muscles also, and naturally you will find that you will feel weakness. Your capacity to lift the weight, your capacity to run will slowly reduces. Your muscles will feel a kind of tiredness. Your muscles will get fatigued very easily. So again, coming back to zero carb, the answer is no. But we eat lot of carb, that should be reduced. So definitely reducing carb, especially high glycemic index carb, should be reduced. Rather, I will say should be zeroized. So here the question is, do we need to go on zero carb? We should go on zero carb with high glycemic index. How? Anything and everything which actually test very sweet to tongue will be having more than 90 as a glycemic index. Sugar has say 100 glycemic index, or pav, it has 99.99 glycemic index, or say rice, which has a 72 to 75 glycemic index, or if you say chapati, maybe around 65 to 70, or bhakar, which again has the same range of glycemic index. But if you take say for example the soybean chunks, it has a glycemic index of less than 50. So it doesn't have carb. What is that means? That glycemic index proves that amount of sugar which is available to the body when it is consumed, and immediately it knocks to release the insulin to the body. That is what is a glycemic index is. There are diets where it says that any glycemic index which is higher, if you consume it, insulin will be flush, and as a result of it there will be insulin tolerance. And this kind of diet is also so any high glycemic index diet should not be taken. Any high carb should not be taken, and then you can definitely try to prevent or try to get the help to cure your diabetes. So zero carb is not definitely recommended, but low carb is definitely recommended. One more thing, if we consume carb along with fat, this is the worst combination. Ice cream. Anything with fat and carb is a worst combination, because it will definite pave our body, guide our body to actually deposit the fat. Because carb is available, what will happen to the fat? Fat will directly deposit. If high amount of carb is available, whatever consumed in our body, after that remaining will be deposited to the fat. So we should have a moderate amount of carb every day. The carb should be as per our activities, rather little less than activity. If I'm walking for 5 kilometers, I should eat a carb which is equivalent to 5 kilometers. Okay, 5 kilometers means 1.5 chapati. That's it, or maximum 2 chapati, actually speaking. So you will find that then there won't be any bloating, there won't be any kind of indigestion, there won't be acidity, and your consumption, your absorption of complete food will be very high. As a result of it, your tools will also be very good. How much rice consumption is good to lose or maintain a healthy weight? So it is again depend on rice. I told you just now that it has a glycemic index between 70 to 75 or say 78. So it means that once you consume rice, immediately sugar is available to you. It has a carbohydrate which can be very easily hydrolyzed in your stomach, and the sugar is immediately available to you. So consuming rice will actually increase belly. If I say this direct formula, it won't be injustice. It has a certain truth. But again, there is a problem. If you don't consume rice, then there will be definitely some people will have a deficiency of B complex vitamins. So as a result of it, a consumption of rice is sometimes needed. But if you consume rice and you find that after your meal you have a kind of a saggy mood, or you feel sleepy, it means you have consumed lot of rice. You have consumed more rice. Generally it is found that a 60 kg person should consume a half or 1/4 katora of rice. That is enough. Rather, I feel that a katora of 1 katora of sabzi and or dal, especially decanted dal, should be added with 2 or 3 teaspoons of rice and should be consumed. That is one of the best way to control your weight, and that is a key. Okay, so there was one more question, that is whether consumption of ghee good for health. Is it fat if taken more? Is ghee better or butter is better? Very good question. Ghee, ghee is pure fat. That is one more thing. Ghee is completely fat. Butter has some more component of some milk protein, okay, and some small acidic component, and something like tyrosine, okay. Those kind of components are there. Definitely, butter is actually better, but there is one challenge. There is one problem. There is one way that the ghee is consumed in the body. See, when you consume ghee, up to certain limit it works very well. If it is consumed with high glycemic index carb, it is actually a poison for your body. If you consume ghee along with jaggery, actually you want to get chubby, then the best way is consume ghee with jaggery, right? Or consume ghee with any high glycemic index carb. So ghee should be consumed alone, number one, or it should be consumed with something which it goes parallelly compatible with, right? For example, it can be consumed definitely with rice, but at the same time, if you consume more rice and more ghee, you will get chubby. The rice should be very small and the ghee should be there 1 or 2 spoons. But ghee has a very good characteristic. It will actually satiate your craving. So every day ghee should be consumed. But at the same time, if you consume high carb, then ghee will act as a actually weight gainer. It is a fact. But it is said in Ayurveda that a pure ghee will actually increase your vital energy of the body. Okay, your inner crux will be increased, your shukra will be powerful. That is also said by ghee. But if you consume ghee along with say something like a lot and lot of some jalebi or lot of gulab jamun, then it will work as a just a weight gainer. Definitely butter gives you advantage that butter will be actually a kind of source of the precursor of sleep hormone. So definitely when you take butter or a cheese, it contains a tyrosine which will actually work as a precursor for the sleep hormone. You will get a better sleep. So but consumption of butter, frequent butter along with the pav will be a disaster. That is the worst combination. One more formula I will tell you. Those combinations which our tongue feel better and better, they are generally worst combination, and that is truth. For example, many times you will find in the hotels or restaurants that there are very good sabjis which actually will twist your tongue in a way that this is yummy, very good. All those yummy thing actually mixture of acid and base. The reason, see, the sabzi will be added with the curd, and this curd sour taste and sabzi's chili taste, they will combine, which will cause a taste which is very different, which we never eat. If we eat that, see, that is a basically incompatible food you are eating. You should take ghee, you should take curd separately, you should take the sabzi separately, never mix them. So similarly, never mix acid base, any kind of, say for example, you should not mix the cucumber along with lemon. Never mix cucumber with curd, or never mix curd with lemon. These kind of compatible, or milk with lemon, these kind of incompatible combinations should not be done. So definitely butter should not be combined with the lemon. So the incompatible combinations or which are fat increasing combination includes butter. So this should not be taken with any again high glycemic index carb. There was one more question. We'll go on to that. Not losing enough weight, do regular mild exercise. Should I make changes in diet? Okay. See, now I'll tell you what is the challenge in losing a weight. Losing a weight, body consider it as a death. Basically, losing our weight, it consider that body actually doesn't want that the person weight should reduce. Body will always want that the person's weight should increase. This is a natural tendency of the body. Body will always increase craving. Body will always increase the want of food. But when we lose the weight, body consider this is a death, and body will try every different ways to stop this weight loss. But once body come to know that no, I cannot have any other way now to retain that weight, I will have to lose that weight. So when you do exercise, continue your exercise till you get your armpits wet. That means 20 drops of sweat. And reduce your carb, reduce your fat definitely, and you will find that when your intake is enough to satisfy your craving for food, and you will find that slowly you will switch from the carb consumption to fat consumption, and that will reduce the weight. Apart from that, hormonal concentration is also important, that what kind of hormonal balances or imbalances that we have currently, and that will actually counts a lot. I will come to that in depth. Craving, if you have craving and if you are not on diet, then definitely you will not lose weight. And that's why I said this is a triangle, that is Dyttitude, diet, yoga and attitude. So if you lose your diet, or if you actually cannot observe properly your diet but never leave yoga is an important thing which will actually bring your diet to the place. Yoga is an important thing which will bring your attitude to a better and better positive attitude. Diet, if you lose, but if you lose yoga, if you miss yoga, then nobody can save you, because once you lose yoga, you are lost the roots of it, and then definitely diet will go wavered here, and you will not able to control anything. You will get cranky, anger, lots of things. You lose your attitude and so yoga is a key. So in diet, yoga and attitude, which is a Dyttitude triangle, I say, in that yoga is the key. If you lose yoga, if you miss yoga, it's a problem, right? Best way, when you have a craving, if you calculate your energies, if simple energy you consume in a day, and whatever energy you are consuming, you will find that when you are consuming your energy, or when you are actually intake of energy, you will find that there should be a difference of almost 300 to 400 kilocalorie of energy every day. Then only you lose weight. So for example, for a person to lose almost 1 kg, there should be a walk of 36 kilometers, actually speaking. So if you walk for 36 kilometers and then don't eat, then you will lose 1 kg. But this 36 kilometers you should not do in one day. You should do this in over the period of time. When this 36 kilometer of walk doesn't get energy, it will try to consume it on fat, and then the body will lose the weight. You should do changes in diet. Your diet, you can send it to me. I'll do the changes. I can send you the what diet should be changed, because again there is a challenge that people have tendency to formalize or formulate with the template of diet, which is very wrong. Everybody has a different tendency, everybody has a different tridosh, vat, pitta, kapha. Everybody has a different way of their complete life. How can one formula lose the weight? How it can be healthy? It cannot be. See, I lost my weight eating gulab jamun, but I gained my weight by eating proteins. There cannot be rule. The rule is that how is your health, what it respond to. For example, I have seen a person who doesn't have acidity, even the person eats lots and lots of ghee, whereas if I take even a small amount of peanuts, I have acidity, right? One key thing which I can suggest here, that try to start dhauti for at least 30 days, and then alternate day for 15 days, then 2 days a week, and then once in a week. That will definitely lose the weight. We'll come back to this again with the question. There was another question that says that any superfood to reduce the weight. To reduce the weight, what I will request you, reduce your carb, no doubt about it. Definitely keep walnut as a part of your daily consumption. Somewhere between the meals, walnut will reduce the craving. Sometimes you eat soya chunks, sometimes you eat murmure with lots and lots of you can say chili, so that you can drink lot of water and your craving will be reduced. You can the best way is to eat fruits. The fruit sugar will not be so easily converted into fat, because there are different isomers of the sugar. Then ghee is one component, or when you are hungry, you can also consume banana. Fibrous fruit and vegetable is the key. If you would like to lose a weight, there is one simple formula. eat sabzi along with ghee and don't eat anything, you'll find that you will lose the weight. But if you don't go for better and better metabolism, you will have weakness. But never ever go for directly on any diet. Try to make your body acclimatize with that. Try to make your body habited to that. Never start tomorrow, yes, sabzi and ghee, and then, but if you consume more and more amount of ghee, there are chances that your arteries will have deposits of it, and that will also cause a problem. So you should have that much of agni to, or that much of what you can say Vaishwanar or digestive power to digest the ghee, otherwise it will cause a problem. Buttermilk is one of the key. If you drink buttermilk, it has more and more amount of water and very less amount of say fat, very less amount of fat, and more amount of what you can say a protein also, and it has a bulk also, and it also helps in lubrication of gut. So buttermilk is the key thing. Any point of time, rather you should go for one buttermilk day for cleaning and for losing the weight also. You can also go for decanted dal water. That is also one good thing. Always when you consume food, after that so what you should do, consume food, and the food should be 1/2 of your complete capacity. 1/4 of it should be water and 1/4 of should be air. After that, you will, if you feel that there is a craving, immediately take betel leaf along with ova, ajovan, then with the green patri and small amount of fennel or badi shape, small thandai, then calcium carbonate, chuna, acacia catechu, katha, and even a small amount of coconut powder can be there. So that vida, what we say, we should consume every day, because that will give you a feeling of relax, complete hunger is over, no craving, and that gives a feeling of that my food is over. Otherwise you will have feeling that I should eat some more amount of food, and that creates a problem. There are times when you actually consume food when you feel that no, this much amount of food is enough for me now, I don't want to consume anymore. But at the same time the tongue says no, I want more. And this is the time whether you are to put on the weight or you would like to reduce the weight. That time, if you determine, you should immediately stop there, stop your complete meal there itself, and then go for a pan, and after that betel leaf, and after that you will find that you are okay to reduce the weight. There is one more question: ideal time to have fruits. Very important point. Actually speaking, this question is should be asked by a person who has a BMI between 18 to 24, means exact good weight. Okay, other people asking this question is like asking whether I should go to moon by aeroplane or by the US rocket or by India rocket, because to consume food itself is a good thing. Okay, so we should not miss fruits. That is the key. It should not be that ideal time. See, ideal time is very simple. I'll tell you how to find out ideal time rather. Ideal time for consumption of anything is when you are empty stomach. If you want to take more amount of benefit of any of the food, you can consume it when there is no meal or there is nothing in that in the stomach. That is the way to get the ideal time. So between two meals, okay, early in the morning, you will get more and more absorption of fruits. This is not case with most of the allopathic medicines. Allopathic medicines, as they generate more amount of acidity, doctors say take it after meal because they generate acidity. And once you take meal, generation of acidity won't be there because already the acid will be flown in your stomach. So generation of acidity is not there because already the acid is there, and by feedback mechanism body stops secreting acid much and more. And that's why they say okay, and that will be actually the tablet will be crushed very fast by acid because already acid is there. So that's why they say after a meal you consume this tablet. But fruit you can consume it empty stomach. But see consider that if you are 30 days, if you are consuming the fruit empty stomach every day and one day you miss, the heavier problem is one day you are missing the fruit is itself has a very huge effect, bad effect, because you have not got anything out of that. Instead of that, to concentrate on the time of the fruit, you concentrate on it should be consumed every day, any point of time. Between the two meals or empty stomach is one of the best way to consume the food. There was a question on GERD, that is a gastroesophageal reflux disease, right? So the question asked that is it advisable to drink water empty stomach after waking up in the morning? The answer very simple. The answer is yes as well as no for GERD, for gastroesophageal reflux disease. The reason why it is yes and no, there are people, if you consume water early in the morning, the immediate acid reflux will come. And there are people, the slowly if they drink water, the acid reflux won't be there. What is acid reflux here is that our stomach secretes more and more amount of acid, and there will be a burping of acid up, and this up going of acid will actually burn our alimentary canal on the ventral upper part of the body, and this is really really problematic, really painful. What is the best way? Try to consume this water slowly. Another thing, try to have dhauti. So dhauti is the best remedy, and you will find what happened in dhauti. You drink lot of water, the acid gets diluted, then you put 2 fingers inside and you just take it out, and this diluted acid will be thrown out. As a result of it, you will feel relaxed. So dhauti, that's why it is said dhauti basti tatha neti naulikam tratakam tatha kapalavatischa etani shatkarmani samacharet. That is the reason it is said. So another thing, you also eat food very slowly. Lot of chewing is required for a person who is suffering from GERD. No fat consumption. Otherwise, again gastroesophageal reflux will be very quickly, the acid will secrete very quickly. Never ever wear very tight clothing here. Never ever wear tight clothing, because if you wear tight clothing, it will definitely actually causes more and more reflexes there. Please avoid any packed food or alcohol or food which cause higher and higher acidity. So never go for such food, because these kind of food like masala, it is generally said that tea and coffee also should be avoided by people who are suffering from GERD. Also, the white flour, that is a maida, should be avoided by these people. No, totally no for mostly all kinds of dairy or all kinds of the bakery product for GERD. You can actually sense that what kind of product, a consumable product, causes more and more GERD to you. Okay, and this list is very important. But you can also consume lemon, you can consume cucumber, you can consume amsul. So these have generally, the metabolites are basic in nature. So these things you can consume. Always consume with lot of chewing. You can also go for sheetli, sheetkari, vayusar, This you can definitely go for that. Instead of saying somebody has ask a question, I read that soaking cooked rice in water overnight in a mud vessel and eating that in the morning help with gut immunity. See, the point here is it's not a gut immunity. Gut immunity will be increased by different way. There are ways. This itself will not increase immunity. Okay, this will help to increase, but it will not be a major driver for increasing immunity. Let's be very clear about it. What is immunity is that whenever your WBC will be very quickly produced from your bone marrow, okay, there is a stimulation to that. That is the immunity. Well, how is it that? When the erythropoietin from kidney will be released in the blood. How erythropoietin will be released in the blood? When kidney will have and the lower portion of the body, the trunk of the body will have more and more blood supply, more and more exercise, and that's why it is said that the Kapalabhati with the huge jerks, then the Padahastasana, then Chakrasan and Halasan, Sarvangasan, this will increase the immunity. We have generally habit of in after 40s, generally this is seen. People have habit just 2 leaves of something, boil it in water, consume it, the disease will be over. No, this is the biggest myth we have. No disease will over like this way. We have to work there on that disease. We have to do yoga of that disease, and that's why anybody can do yoga. Yuva vruddho ati vruddho va vyadito durbalopi va. Right? So anybody can do yoga. You can start with 0. You can reach up to that. Never go on this kind of myth that this particular there is a delta effect. I don't disagree with that. This delta is very small. This delta is also equal to the fact that if you take water by cold water, your immunity increases. Naturally, cold will actually increase the immunity because there is a natural response to the body. But at the same time, cold will also affect your nervous system. Who counts that? Okay, no doubt that rice when soaked, cooked rice which is in the overnight, it is put into mud. But one thing in yoga it is said that overnight if you keep any food is not good. That is a key thing. Now what happened overnight rice? Nothing will happen except that the deterioration. Nothing will occur. So very clear about it. We should be based on facts. Even if you see yoga, it is based on facts. It is based on advanced science. Right? There was one more question which is there, that fruits like jackfruit and mango causes diabetes. See, this is another myth. Fruits are natural one, and somebody will say will also put the question that okay, consumption of non-veg will not cause, but fruit, jackfruit and mango will cause diabetes, right? See, if you see the jackfruit composition, 76% of jackfruit is moisture. It is 76 to 80% is it's a water, and there are hardly 19% carbohydrates. These carbohydrates are also a mixture of carbohydrates. Our body basically, the enzymes which actually split the carbohydrate, it gets stimulated, and that is the very best thing. Hardly 0.1% fat, hardly 1.9% protein is there, and that too different proteins, out of which some 1 or 2% those proteins are there which contain the essential amino acids. There is a 20 milligram per 100 gram of calcium is there, phosphorus is there, iron is there, carotene is there, very huge amount, that is 175 microgram, and there is a thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, vitamin C is also there in jackfruit. How can jackfruit cause diabetes? Jackfruit, if you eat, if you don't walk, if you just sleep, big jackfruit chunk, and every day if you eat for 1 year, definitely apart from diabetes many things will happen, but that is the extreme case. So it's not that jackfruit will cause diabetes. No fruit actually till now no fruit which is edible fruit cause any disease. That is the key thing. Fruits will actually have lot and lot antioxidants, and they will help you to rejuvenate your whole body. I'll tell you, actually a person who eats fruit will have a different kind of luster on his body, on his face. So that is one. Mango, somebody said that mango causes diabetes. So mango has again 78 to 80% of 82% of water. How can it cause diabetes? And then it has a lipids, 0.3% lipid. It has say 16 to 17% of moisture, and 16 to 17% of carbohydrate. So these carbohydrate, again, is a mixture of carbohydrate, different sugars, different disaccharides, trisaccharides, and some of them then isomers of glucose. But if you see, even it has a fibers. In presence of fibers, generally carbohydrates are not very well absorbed. They are rather engulfed with the fibers, and as a result of it, you will find that even if they are absorbed, your complete bowel is very clear. So mango helps actually to keep you more rejuvenated. If you eat 12 mangoes a day, 20 mangoes a day, that won't work. Or if you eat mango along with the sugar, that won't work. That may cause diabetes definitely because of the sugar and not because of the mango. Right? Okay, there was one more question. What's the best remedy for bloating? See, first important thing is that if you can do basti, within 10 minutes your bloating will be over. Basti is the one thing. Second, never consume a food more than your capacity, half capacity. That will cause bloating. Third is that you can have everyday dhauti and you will lose this bloating problem. Defecation is the one of the best thing where you can drink lot of water and you will find immediately you will have bloating, but that will be reduced over the period of time. You can also consume for bloating, say, a huge amount of fiber so that the defecation occur, or you can take papaya, you can take the kind of mixture of dates crushed in a water, that you can consume. You can have raisins crushed in water in a mixture, that can be consumed, or you can have the complete papaya or papaya pulp you can have. You can also have a kind of the achar of neem, the sweet achar of neem, and that will reduce your bloating definitely. You can also have jeera water, that will also reduce your bloating. There was one more question, we have just 6 minutes left. One more question about PCOS and PCOD hormonal imbalance. This polycystic ovarian syndrome is that condition where the cyst will be developed in the ovary, and as a result of it there will be lots and lots of changes. Generally this is caused because of complete hormonal imbalance. Say luteinizing hormone, that will be generally above average. Then there is a FSH, that is a follicle stimulating hormone, that will also shoot up. And then there will be a change in testosterone level also in female, or there is a change in estrogen or SBGH. These hormones, they will get completely out of the way, and then ultimately cause, or even a gonadotropin hormone, that will also cause a problem. So all these problems, and that alters the glucose metabolism too. That also alters your TSH, thyroxine stimulating hormone, and as a result of it you will find that there is an effect on your even cortisol secretions, and the person will have different symptoms. The person will not able to actually have the proper periods, or the female, they will be maybe absence of periods sometimes their skin will have extra pigmentation, sometimes they will have increase in the body weight. Then there are lot of mood swing, you will be angry, there will be hair growth generation on the face, chest, as well as on the back, and that they will feel very gloomy, very depressed. Okay, and there will be many times infertility problems are there, or getting the pregnancy is a problem. Sometimes it is miscarriage, and definitely there are chances of type 2 diabetes. There will be problems to liver, sometimes there will be cholesterol problems. So many things will occur because of the PCOS. And these PCOS actually they can be avoided very easily. See, the best way to avoid this PCO is that first of all, reduce your food. First, reduce your food, reduce your carbs, no bakery products, no coffee, reduce your salt, no bakery product. Okay, you can actually have some of the food which is a Indian origin food, like curry is there, kadhi is there. You can also have the simple our meal, but again, no oily product. Please stay away from the alcohol, stay away from the even the soya product, stay away from it because it has some bad effect on the PCOS. And stay away from the caffeine, that is very important. Caffeine, it means that the coffee as well as tea, caffeine causes challenges, definitely challenges. What you can do, you can go for strawberries, or you can also go for banana, you can go for the apple, you can go for grapes, oranges, these peach, these kind of fruits you can eat, and you will find that it helps to reduce the PCOS. Apart from that, all those asanas, say for example Hanumanasana, say for example the Ushtrasan, Chakrasan, then Padahastasana, okay, also the tree pose, correct. All these asanas which actually twist the groin, okay, spread the legs, twist the groin, these asanas we should do it every day, and that will actually take away this particular PCOS or PCOD. One more last question was there, still we have a couple of minutes, that Amavata. So said that Amavata, how can we reduce that? See, basically it is when Ama is increased and also Vat is increased, so it actually blocks the channels of the body, and that because of the increase in Amavata. What is the best way? Again the same remedy, lots of vegetables you should eat, lots of fruits you should eat, avoid your oily things there, caffeinated drinks, please avoid that, alcohol you avoid that, and also you should not eat much more food in the evening. Vamvata, I also found that because of dhauti you can reduce your amvata very well. So dhauti is the key. Whenever you find that your tongue is very much what you can say white or towards the white, better to do dhauti. So that's from my side. Let me know your questions, right? So
I have one additional question for you. After dhauti, because what happened, the lady who asked about churd, I made her do dhauti, but after that she didn't eat anything for a long time, and then again that acidity became more instead of less. So what is to be done after dhauti? What is the kriya to be followed? What is to be done after you do dhauti?
yeah, so see, when the person is doing dhauti, it does not mean that the other yoga should not be performed. After dhauti, the person should not eat anything for almost 30-40 minutes, because this is a case of jerd, number one. So number two, that whenever they do dhauti, after that they can start with chitli and chitkari, not in a winter, generally in summer, so that will also reduce the acidity. Another thing, there are 2 or 3 days which should be kept, that drink lot of water, don't do any dhauti, let it go down, let the acid get diluted. One more thing, never ever eat full stomach. So we have dhauti as a one tool, but at the same time it cannot be that one tool can fight with the jerd. So there will be acidity initially, because it will be reflex acidity, but at the same time when the acidity slowly reduces, right, the person must be taking pantoprazole or omeprazole, and there is a hydrogen pump blocker which will cause lots and lots of dependency afterwards. So this is a pseudo dependency, it's not an actual dependency. but that will cause a problem. So after dhauti they can keep themselves 30 minutes doing taking nothing. There is a list of items they should actually individually go for, which will cause increase in their acid secretion or burping. Generally, those which causes increase in the motility of our GI, specifically say lot of masalas or particular things. Sometimes people have this by just by eating something like say banana. If somebody eats banana, they may cause acidity. Banana is acidic, so the person should go for then cucumber, right? So mostly, so that's why it is very important that what they consume apart from dhauti, there should be a combination.
After that, the stomach should be kept clean for 30
Correct.
to 40 minutes.
Yes,
but
correct.
After that, she should eat something.
Yeah,
na?
with
Not
lot of
for
change.
a long period. She should not remain without food.
Yeah. No. Should not remain without food. Consumption should be slow. It should be fibrous. Okay, fibrous consumption should be there. Lots and lots of sabzi with less salt, with less chili, with less masala. Actually, the person should not consume any kind of what you can say, the white maida, white flour should be avoided. So chewing is very important in case of this.
Thank you. Anyone wants to ask anything more? Because we are out of time now, actually. अजून काही कोणाला विचारायचं आहे प्रश्न?
एक विचारू का?
या प्लीज गो अहेड सर.
आपण ज्या वेळेला खूप ट्रॅव्हलिंग मध्ये असतो आणि सगळे टायमिंग आपली उलटे पलटे झालेले असतात किंवा खूप जागरण पण होतं, कधी कधी रात्रभर आपण एअरपोर्टवर वगैरे असतो, तर मग त्यावेळेला हाऊ टू मॅनेज युअर डाएट अँड देन ऑल्सो टू अवॉइड ऑल दिस कॉम्प्लिकेशन्स, बिकॉज आफ्टर दॅट एक दोन दिवस तुम्हाला त्या सगळ्याचा त्रास होतच राहतो. तर त्याच्याकरता काही आपले सजेशन्स आहेत का?
Sure. See, number one is that your acidity will be higher at that point of time because your time of meal will be different. Okay, the time of meal will be something which is odd time. Okay, sometimes. So one thing I'll suggest, first of all, eat less. Number one. Second, eat less. Second, you should complete your sleep somewhere. Then your complete circadian cycle will be in place, and then it will be okay. Circadian cycle is very important here. Third, you should do dhauti in the early morning when nothing is in stomach, because the extra amount of acid will be thrown out. So dhauti is very important. If you are bloating, try basti, right? And what you can do, whenever you come back, see throughout the night, if you travel, you come back and you find that early morning you reach, throughout the night you are awake, try to do dhauti. After that, maybe you can do yoga, you take a sound sleep, you will get the sound sleep, and then you will find your routine is started. But on the contrary, if you come in the morning, eat lot, then sleep, then you don't have chance except acidity, because your acid is still there, which is the additional acid from throughout the night, and now you have eaten something, and now your complete circadian cycle, your digestion cycle is completely hodgepodge. But if you do dhauti, then you do yoga, then you eat also, take a nap, and then you will find that you are at ease. So this is not only I am telling you just a theory. Practically I have seen people as well as myself do the same thing, and just 3 days back I have done this same thing, right?
Yes.
I will teach dhauti. I will teach everybody. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Raghav sir. Thank you very
Thank you so
much. Very informative. People have really responded, in the chat box, everyone has said thank you so much for coming and giving us so much of information. I think some of them will contact you later on also for diet and all.
Sure.
And we can also refer to his book, Dyttitude, which is present on Amazon. So thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, friends. Please advise your suggestions in comment box.